I've had like a depressive week. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say I was depressed, but it was just like felt depressive, you know what I mean? But I feel like you don't realize you're in like a more lull of a time until like you're out of it or a bit of a time passes. Like this week I was just like unmotivated. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. I just felt very down about like oh my god, my not to be unserious, but my stuffed animal cat, because I told my boyfriend I wanted a cat for Christmas, so he got me a stuffed animal cat, nice loophole, is staring at me, and it's kind of making me uncomfortable. Even though I know it's an inanimate object, hey, wonton. Anyway, yes, I did name my cat. Anyways, but I was just not feeling it this week. And then towards the end of the week, I was like, oh, I don't feel great. You know what I mean? I was just kind of like mindlessly going through the week, not really doing much, just being like, bleh. And then towards the end, I was like, wow, I've been doing this for like a weekish and a half now. So kind of over it, but still in it. Don't know how to get out of it. So this is what brings me here. Hi, I'm feeling a little better today. Thanks for asking. But like, shit happens. We have ups, we have downs. We move that booty all around, you know what I mean? So, when you have a lull, can it get worse? Absolutely. But can it also go up? Yeah. And then if it does get worse, well, that's usually rock bottom, and then you have nowhere to go from there but up. So it all looks good, doesn't it? The notes on my phone I have this week that prepared me for this podcast are one, very random, and two, just, I don't know. This is what I thought about this week. Oh, something I put in the notes for the podcast this week was talking about like my depressive kind of episode week, and literally to help pull me out of my little episode. But this past Saturday night, I was like, I'm sad. I'm not doing great. And, like none of my friends could hang out this weekend, so that was also like not fun. When you're sad and alone, it makes it so much worse. But my sister was home for a period of time, so we went swimming, which was all good and fun. But I came home and she had to go to work, so I was like, okay, what can I do? And recently, I watched Bring It On, Baby. Okay, have you ever seen that movie? It's a cheerleading series, which I'm not a fan of cheerleading. The gymnastics part, amazing. If you're a girl that can like flip, bend, and rotate, all power to you. Like I think I wish I was a gymnast. I just think it's very cool to have that athletic ability, but the actual like ready, okay, and the like robotic moves I hate. I was once on a dance team that was basically like being on a cheerleading team, and I wanted to just myself the whole time. Anyways, Bring It On. I love that movie series, okay, and I watched 2 of them this weekend. I watched 2 of them recently, and I watched the first one, which, if you're familiar with the Bring It On series, the first movie has the most iconic opening. If you've never seen it, they're like in a gymnasium. If you could picture like High School Musical, because like everyone's seen that at the end where they're like, we're all in this together, you know what I mean? So like a gym like that, and they do kind of like a cheer rant thing with like this little choreographed dance. It's so funny. It's like so comically written. It's very witty. I love it. I'm probably like pretty vulgar for the time it came out, because like women and sexuality, still quite frowned upon. Long story short, this Saturday I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna teach myself the entire opening of the Bring It On movie, and then I'm gonna make a TikTok of that. And I also decided to try to dress up as a cheerleader as best as I could, because obviously I was never a cheerleader, so I don't own a cheerleading uniform. But my sister had a skirt that kind of looked like a cheerleader, and I just wore like a tight white tank top and put my hair with like little tiny pigtails like right here, how I do, and some white chucks, and bitch, I killed it. And bitch, I went all in. I learned the song and the choreo, okay, and I made that TikTok so many times to get it perfecto, and it's long. Okay, it's long. So towards the end, doing the dance moves while like chanting it, I was getting pretty out of breath. So towards the end, I wasn't doing so hot, and then I realized, okay, that the sound bite, like the clip, the audio from the intro of that movie is on TikTok after I filmed it so many times. So I just used that audio and mouthed the words and did the dance. Turned out so much better. Did great on TikTok, okay? So that made me pretty happy. You know, I like being creative usually pulls me out of funks or like, you know, investing time into astrological things. So if you're ever in a depressive state, just, you know, learn some choreo, do a little song and dance, put on a little performance for yourself. You know, it did help temporarily, not long term. But in the moment, it was fun. Speaking of depressive episodes, I had a therapy session with my new therapist this week. Okay. I don't know how I feel. I was nervous because he is a man, but okay, I thought he would be like maybe intimidating. And this boy comes on. He is probably very close. Well, he's in graduate school. He's probably just a couple years older than me, and he logged on to our Zoom therapy session with, like, gamer headphones. So I immediately was like, okay. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, he's a little nerdy nerd. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Nonetheless, I was like, okay, I don't feel intimidated at all. The one takeaway I took from my first therapy session with my new therapist is he literally told me, men ain't shit. Coming from a man, it's quite funny to hear. And I was also like, you're not wrong. But I was like, you heard it here first, you know, from a licensed almost licensed professional. He's about to get his license. But like, men ain't shit, baby. My guy friends are cool, but men ain't shit, you know what I mean? Which, though, that didn't also really help, like, my not great week, because I really needed therapy this past week, but I didn't have it because I had to wait a week to make a new appointment with the new therapist. And really nice guy, but I don't think we're gonna work out. He just doesn't seem like he matches my vibe, which I'm really sad because I really liked my old therapist. So I don't know what I'm gonna do because I really need therapy, but I can't afford it, and my old therapist is now gone, so that's sad. Besides that, I don't really have any other takeaways from my therapy session. Don't know if I'll continue with that guy. With peace and love, we just don't seem like we mesh very well, you know? Like, me and my other this is why, like, I said, you know, if you've never been in therapy, it takes time to find a therapist you really like. But my last one was the best therapist I've ever had. And me and her both were like, game time. You know, we came in with like a plan. I was like, this is what I want to talk about. She let me talk about it. And then she's like, this is what I have questions about. And I was like, let me answer your questions. And we just like figured shit out together. And like, I made so much progress with her. And, you know, I just don't think this guy is going to be able to fill her shoes. Normally, I'm like super duper like in a better mood, okay, but I'm just not this week, and I'm not gonna like pretend like I am, you know what I mean? One of the highlights of my week, though, me and my sister took my dog on a walk. My sister and I took our dog on a walk, and normally he's always speeding ahead in front of us. Okay, he's one of those dogs that's just trying to get the farthest away as he possibly can all the time. But he started lagging behind, and we were like, what are you doing, Stink? His name is Major, but we call him Stink because he stinks. And very degrading, I know. But as we were walking, he was lagging behind us, and then we turned around, and he had a dead carcass in his mouth. It was either like a baby squirrel or a chipmunk. It was very small and very flat. Like, it's been like there for a couple days, you know what I mean? Kind of shriveled up dry. And we were just like, what on earth are you gonna do with a dead carcass, Stink? Like, were you gonna eat it? Were you gonna just carry it around? He was literally just carrying it in his mouth. So that was fun. He also pooped on that walk, and my sister forgot the poop bags. So she had to take a bunch of leaves from a neighbor's tree and scoop up the poop with the leaves. And that was pretty funny. So definitely made my week a little bit better. Another highlight of this week for sure. Okay, I love working retail. Okay, a customer this week came up to me at my job, and he was like, do you work here? My favorite question to be asked. You know, wearing like the logo of where you work, you know, I don't think is ever enough to let someone know you work at that establishment. Always got to do more and answer those questions. Okay, and he was like, do you have spreadable butter? You know, I'm only seeing plant-based butter. And I was like, yeah, of course, let me show you. So I bring him to the wall with said butter. And we have rows of butter, baby. Any kind of butter you want, we got it, okay? And I was like, butter, butter, butter. You know, just being lighthearted. He did not take it that way. And he goes, were you not listening? I said, spreadable butter. And he walked away. Since when has butter become unspreadable? You know, this is news to me. I thought butter, that's what it's for, to spread it on things. Like, obviously this man wasn't patient enough to look for spreadable butter, so he's not going to be patient enough to let his butter thaw just a little bit to let it spread on literally anything. We did in fact have spreadable butter, but I think he was just very irritated by me that he just walked away instead of grabbing said spreadable butter. In hindsight, it was really funny though. Like, it's like, what? Either he had a really bad day, God bless his soul, okay, even though I don't believe in Jesus, or, like, how do you have the time in the day to get so mad at a person for doing their job, for showing you exactly what you wanted? And butter, of all things. Like, it's not. Butter is great. Butter makes everything taste better, but is it necessary? Do you need it? Probably not. Is it gonna make you fatter in the long run? I mean, if you eat a lot of it. But just like, what are you doing in your day that you have the time to get pissed at me about spreadable butter? Like, there's more to life than fucking fatty dairy substances that you put on bread. Like, I don't know what this guy's issue was, but I hope he's having a better day today, with peace and love. And that's the thing too, after working in retail for a while, when I was younger working in like customer service retail, like, I would get pissed at customers that would treat me that way, you know, get mad at me for me literally doing my job. But now it's so comical and not worth my energy. I don't care that you're mad about butter. Like, I really don't, because I don't know why you're mad about butter. And also, like, it's just so funny that you're getting mad about butter, you know what I mean? Oh my god, did I just yawn? It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I film my podcast at like 10 o'clock in the morning, but how am I even tired? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Is this what depression is? No, I'm kidding. I realized through this past week, as I was not feeling so great, you know, when I get like sad or like in a lull and just feel kind of down, I usually don't have anything to talk about. And normally I talk a lot. Obviously, hello, I have a podcast, okay? But I just really never want to talk to anyone. Or I just, like, don't have anything to say. Or, like, I feel like some people, when they're sad, you can't tell they're sad because they're so, like, like, they just, like, don't shut up and they just, like, keep talking and, like, fill the empty spaces so you can't tell they're upset about something. But, bitch, I ain't got no poker face. The other day, I was leaving work and I was not having a good time, okay? And I looked really sad. So one of my friends was, like, asking me what was wrong and I just started crying. Like, I literally was, like, about to go, like, leave work and I couldn't even wait till I left work. Like, I just started crying. And I mean, I've cried so many times at work, so it's like, it's nothing new. Okay, but it just, I do not have a poker face for the life of me. Besides, like, not having a great week. I feel like I've said that 100 times now. Like, we get it, Allie, you're not good. Okay. But I literally, for the life of me, couldn't make any good food this week. I didn't know what to make, and when I tried to make things, they turned out like ass. I also sometimes try to make, like, recipes that include more veggies, or, like, whatever, and I found this recipe for, like, cauliflower Alfredo, and I was like, that sounds interesting. Okay, one, getting that veggie in. I'm a healthy bitch. But, like, I've made cauliflower soup before, so I figured the sauce would be similar to that. And I was like, I like that soup. Made it. Tasted like ass. You know, I didn't want to waste. So I ate a little bit of it, and then I was like, no, this for sure tastes like ass. I don't want to eat it. So I got the genius idea of rinsing off my pasta and maybe putting a different sauce on it. So I rinsed off said pasta, and then I was like, okay, I don't have any red sauce in my pantry, so I just put a little olive oil, a little red wine vinegar, a little Parmesan cheese. The noodles then became quite, like, soggy and just, like, not great texture. So I ate, like, a little more of that, and then I was like, yeah, this was not successful at all. I also try to make these, like, protein breakfast oatmeal cookies type thing. And I even, like, you were supposed to put some protein powder in them, obviously, for, like, extra protein. And I, like, cut the protein powder in half. And these cookies, literally, you would, like, bite into them. The powder of the protein would just, like, fall off. And, you know, I don't know if it was my fault for, like, not mixing well enough. They seem like I mixed them well. But they also tasted like ass, so I did not eat them. And I felt so bad wasting food. But, like, I was just not having a good time this week at all with anything. So, today's Tuesday, right? Rip headphone users. Yeah, today's Tuesday, so hopefully the rest of my week is better. Yesterday sucked, but you know, it's summer, baby, okay? And I'm also not in school anymore, haven't been for a while, so the days really don't matter. So hopefully the rest of this week is better, you know? I'm gonna try my best to have a good attitude and make a better attitude is everything, baby. The fact that I was already not having a great week and then literally none of my friends could hang out, I was like, how am I gonna, like, entertain myself and keep myself, like, not being sad? And I almost took myself to the movies because baby Cruella came out and I love Emma Stone and I used to love 101 Dalmatians, so I almost took myself to see that. Didn't. Probably will soon. Also, I think in like 2 days In the Heights comes out. And listen, if you don't know what In the Heights is, okay, it was a Broadway musical. I don't know the exact year it came out, but my high school did it for like the senior musical. And all the songs are written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who also wrote Hamilton, baby. Love Hamilton, okay? I love rap. I love hip-hop. I love it mixing with different genres. And Hamilton gave me all of that, okay? You know, it made me cry. It made me laugh. It made me want to dance, bitch. Me rapping, okay? But, so In the Heights is coming out, and I'm so excited for that, too. So I wanted to take my boyfriend to see it. He seems he has no interest in it, so I'll probably go by myself or with any friends that want to go. But, you know, I realized getting older, okay, I haven't even been out of college that long, okay, since December. So I'm really bad at math, but what is that, like 6 months-ish? Okay, yeah, about 6 months. All my friends have been getting, like, 9-to-5 jobs, okay, or at least, like, they work Monday through Friday, generally. And then they have the weekends off. So whenever I ask to hang out with my friends, they're like, oh, yeah, do you want to hang out Saturday night, Sunday, like Friday night? And I'm like, bitch, I have work. You know, like working in retail, like I basically always work the weekends. So trying to find a time to hang out with friends is so difficult. And, you know, I never wanted a 9-to-5. But now that all my friends have one, I'm like, I literally can't see them. Now I just want one so I can hang out with my friends. Summer too, baby. Like, I want to be able to do stuff, go places, have fun, bitch. Like, this is my time to shine. You know what I mean? I wonder if I could make my hair look, like, super emo. But, like, doesn't even look like my real hair. Okay. You know what? Going back to my therapy session. Like I said, don't know if I'll stick with this new therapist. Not because he's a man, but just his style of therapy is not really my jive. Okay. But I did realize talking to him, like, how grateful I am for my life. Okay. Because a lot of plans have gone awry in my life since I graduated high school. Okay. But when I was talking to him, you know, I realized if my life wouldn't have happened the way it did the past couple years, I wouldn't have cut probably certain people out of my life, and I probably wouldn't have met new people that came in, you know, or built stronger relationships with people that are already in my life. And I also wouldn't have had certain experiences that have, like, taught me so many things and led me to, like, where I am. Especially this past year, I feel like I made, you know, a lot of friends this year and, you know, got into a relationship this year and did a lot of, like, self-growth and reflection this year. And I feel like if it wasn't for COVID, if it wasn't for, you know, like, getting a new job, if it wasn't for cutting other people out of my life, I wouldn't be here. And I'm like, oh my God, like, there's so many people in my life that I love. And, like, you know, I'm really happy with how much I've grown, you know, and who I've become this past year, that I'm like, oh, you know, like, I can't sit here and be like, I'm not where I want to be and, like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. You might have not been where you expected to be this time, like last year, but I'm so thankful for where I am. And, you know, just because I'm not where I thought I would be doesn't mean I'll never be there. And it just, you know, kind of motivates me to keep working to get there. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But there's my little slice of life I just, you know, like, thought about. And so I guess I did something good out of that therapy session. I feel like this past week I was being like, oh, I hate this about my life, or I don't like this about my life, or, you know, I'm not happy with this current state of this part of my life. And, you know, it's so easy to, like, nitpick all the negative things, like, all the things that go wrong or you're not happy with, and then you tend to only focus on that. But, you know, talking to that therapist yesterday, I was like, wow, like, there's actually so many things I'm grateful for and, like, really happy about in my life right now. So, you know, if I focus on the good keeps going, you know what I mean? It keeps getting better. So there's my little tidbit, you know, like, right now, let's do an exercise together, guys. Love playing therapist. Get a piece of paper, get a pen, or if you don't like being old-fashioned like I do, or get out the notes app in your phone. This is currently, oh my god, we should go through the notes in my phone. That's fun. Get out the notes in your phone and write down 3 things you're grateful for in your life right now. Whether that may be a person, whether that may be a job, whether that may be an experience, an opportunity, a lesson you learned recently. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. You're welcome. Self-growth, mini therapy session with Allie. Hi, we should do mini therapy sessions with Allie every episode. Is that a good idea? If you like the idea of a mini therapy session with Allie every podcast episode, please like or comment to let me know that you like that. Because, like, otherwise, how am I supposed to know? Hello, communication is key. Another great thing that you can learn in life, but also therapy really helps. You know, push that forward. Okay, let's do a segment called Let's Go Through the Notes in Allie's phone, because Allie doesn't know what else to talk about because she's been really sad this week, so nothing has been on her mind besides literally fogginess. Okay? Oh, I have written down The Gauge. It's a restaurant in Chicago. Apparently they have the best burger in Chicago. I heard that on the radio, so I want to try that. That's not really interesting or insightful, but there you go. If you want a good burger, let me know how it is before you go there. Oh, I love this quote. Okay. I thought these would be funny things. Okay, but, we're finding some quotes. I heard this on a podcast recently. Okay, and I loved it, so I wrote it down. I think it was a Chris DiStefano podcast. But it was, if you wake up in the morning and you run into an asshole, you ran into an asshole. But if you wake up in the morning and you run into assholes all day, you are the asshole. Basically meaning, like, if you go about the world and you're, like, a good, generally optimistic person and you run into someone who's a douchebag, like, then that's it. But if you go into the world and you're pessimistic and have a bad attitude all the time and think the world's out to get you and play the victim card, hate the victim card, one of my biggest pet peeves. Anyways, then you're gonna all day be like, that guy was an asshole to me, that guy was an asshole, that guy was, it was like, no, you're probably being... You know, what's the common denominator, baby? You, honey, okay? So, be a good person. Love that quote. I literally mostly grocery list for Al. Let's see what's on here. Frozen cherries. Love me some frozen cherries for smoothies. 2 pieces of salmon, broccoli, bell peppers, onion, flaxseed milk. Listen, you know, I used to drink almond milk all the time, but, like, it usually... is produced, harvest, whatever, grown in California, but California is like in a drought 99% of the time, and almonds take a ridiculous amount of water to create almond milk, so it's not very eco-friendly, so I switched to flaxseed milk. Also has more protein. And chocolate protein cereal I like to put on top of like smoothie bowls. Anyways, another I just have literally in my entire notes, now that I'm looking at it, all it is podcast notes, TikTok ideas, and usually quotes. Okay, another quote I have in here is, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Period, bitch. I love that quote too. That's a good one. This really fucked my tits. I think I heard that on a podcast too, and I talk about my tits all the time, obviously. I just really like that. That really fucked my tits. I need to start saying that more. That sounds really funny. Oh, I have a poem. I'm not gonna read that though. Oh, this is actually funny. So when I got like my tattoos recently, bitch, my tattoo artist, his name's Christian, but he is so funny. And, I remember at like my tattoo consultation, he was saying how like he used to live in California and he left California and like moved to Chicago with a girl. So when he was like actually doing my tattoos, he was telling me about, I think like his baby mama or something. I was like, did you leave California for her? And he was like, I wouldn't leave the line at the DMV for her. And I just thought that was so funny. So I wrote it down and dated it because he's a cool kid. Cool kid, literally probably like 30 something. He's a cool guy. Delusional confidence is essential. I think I heard a drag queen say that. And I really liked it because to do a little more of a deeper dive, I think a lot of people think I'm more confident than I am. Like, a lot of times I've heard my friends tell me, like, you know, how they love how confident I am and, like, they wish they could be that confident or things like that. And generally speaking, I am pretty confident, but, like, everyone else, I have my moments, but I think I have moments more than other people would assume. I just like that quote because you really have to make it far in life, truly believe in yourself, because you can get so many places with, like, hard work, you know, and just listening and doing what you're told, sure. But doing things with the utmost confidence, confidence for me is like respect. Does that make sense? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Actually, let me think about this for a second. I just respect people who have confidence more because it's like the fact that you're willing to go put yourself out there or say that normally people would say that's taboo, or, you know, go do something that, you know, would usually take a lot of courage to muster up to do. It just, you know, I respect that, you know, so confidence for me equals respect. Literally so Aries of me, stop asking for permission. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, baby. I think though, like, actually though, what I meant by that is like you don't need validations from others to do something. Like, I think when I started this podcast, you know, I was worried about, I don't know what. I think I was just scared to do it, and I didn't know if I'd be good at it. I didn't know if it would last. I didn't know if anyone would fucking watch or like it, you know what I mean? Like, comment if you do, subscribe. But I think I was like seeking out validation from my friends to be like, hey, I'm starting this podcast. Like, do you like the idea? Do you like the title? Do you think I'd be good at it? What should I make it about? And, you know, it's like, you know, stop asking for permission. Stop asking for validation. Like, if you want to do something, do it. Like, no one really fucking cares at the end of the day. Like, what you do, like, if someone, like, makes fun of you for it or doesn't like it, then they're going to move on with their life. You know what I mean? They're not going to be stuck on it. Or if they do like it, enjoy it, they're going to, you know, whatever it may be, watch it or listen to it, and then be like, oh, I like that. I enjoyed it. It made me happy. It made me however they felt watching it or seeing it or doing it, and then move on with their day too. Like, everyone just fucking moves on at the end of the day. Like, no one's part of your little world. You know, like, no one at the end of the day really fucking cares what you do, but you. So, like, stop asking for permission, bitch. Be yourself. Do what you want. If you had a depressive week like me, I hope it gets better next week. Find something that makes you happy and do it. Like me learning the entire opening scene of Bring It On and, you know, learning the choreography, the song, and performing it for TikTok and posting it on TikTok. You know, that actually did bring me joy. So find something that makes you happy and do it to get you out of your funk. Thanks for watching, and bye! Little wave. Bye! Okay, what time is it? Okay, bye.